Okay, we are live. We have Tim and Aaron here, and we're going to talk about texting spammers or scammers, right? Texting and how to avoid text scams. That's what I'm trying to say. We're probably just going to dive in, but make sure that you sign up for our newsletter because this is another topic that we've covered in our newsletter. Make sure you sign up for that. And at the end of the video, I will share how to get our free security assessment for your business. So first off,
do you just want me to kind of give an overview?
Yes, please do. What do we mean by texting scams anyway?
Yeah, so just a kind of a general overview for those. As with telephone for many years, texting, SMS has become more and more popular with businesses who can then use their main telephone number to communicate back and forth via texting to single or multiple people all at once. So similar again to potential downfalls with spam and voice spam type calls, texting is seeing the same type of dangers with how it works. So we're going to just talk a little bit about sort of the growth of it all because it's really transitioning businesses into that field, but also some of these pitfalls that have popped up over the last few years with this technology.
If I get a text message that says, I just won Publishers Clearinghouse, I should ignore it. It's probably not real.
Probably not real.
Okay.
Yep.
Can you give us some examples?
Yeah. Nowadays with the convergence of telephone communication and texting communication, these large databases of telephone numbers can be uploaded into an auto dialer type program with a pre-generated message. The biggest, most recent, I would say, would be the political cycle we've all lived through here these last few years, and some of the abuses that were common, rampant with some of that. There's been some reports that some of the populations, some of the underserved populations in our great nation were targeted maliciously with these SMS type messages in an effort to
get them to click,
discourage, or a number of different
influence them one way or the other.
Very much and it was very highly targeted.
Okay, on that note too, I did hear about COVID scams too,
exactly.
like where they would text saying,
"Yep."
I don't know what they would say because I didn't get one, but what would they say? Like, and the whole goal is to get you to click, tap on the link and open it up.
Exactly.
And what happens then?
Yeah. Well, then you've given permission then for the app or the software or the malicious person to access your phone or your device, your computer. You know, again, it's just another way in. You're opening the door or the window.
People were just spoofing messages like, check here to get your COVID results. And you'd click the link and it was nothing to do with healthcare. And it was like a spam link that now you have some sort of virus on your phone.
On your phone.
Because these hackers always prey on the vulnerable and on crises where they try to piggyback off of something that's actually happening and pretend that they're doing that. And then it's like your old spam emails. You get the emails saying, click here, click here. It's the same thing now with text messages.
You know what I have seen is your Amazon package, click here to track it.
Yeah,
your Amazon package has shipped, click it. And I'm like, what if I did happen to order something, I'd be like,
wait a second.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
You know, and I have to, just because I work here, I stop myself and I'll be, you know, because my automatic thing is, I'm going to click it and see if it's going to be here tomorrow or whatever. But no, what should you do? What should you do?
I think mine, instead, real quick too, is my best is if you do click the link and it does load the page and it says page not found, and immediately like, oh, no biggie, and you close it out and you go on.
Oh man.
You know, like, oh geez, broken link, no biggie.
Better to ask questions first and then click instead of click and ask questions later.
Yeah. So so you stopped yourself from clicking, but you did order something.
I would go straight to the vendor, the company, and verify, much like a spam email where you get an email. It's like, hey, your invoice is unpaid. Click here to hurry up and pay it, or you're going to lose service. You know, you're just going to call that company and be like, hey, did you not get my payment? What's going on? For you, for Amazon, I would go into Amazon on my computer, log into my account, look at my orders, and just look at the tracking information through there you should. Don't rely on the alerts, because the alerts can be spoofed and they're trying to
third party even. You know, who knows who's managing those alerts? Yep.
So just go straight to the source. If you have a questionable text message or anything, or say you use AT&T or Verizon, you get something weird about your bill, just call them direct and be like, hey, what's going on with this? That way you're not going to be clicking something that could be malicious.
Okay. Okay. So, and we did talk about this with Dave on a previous show. If you look for email scams and stuff like that, we talked about, and I think we even showed it on our screen, right? How to look for.
Oh, I believe so.
Yeah.
Okay. No, there's a number of examples here too. I think the package pending is probably the most relevant.
Common one,
very
maybe?
common. But we do see some, especially tax season, which we just came through. The IRS is trying to contact you.
Oh gosh!
Please.
Don't worry, if the IRS wants to get a hold of you, they'll find a better way through a text message.
Yeah.
They actually send you a letter.
I think too. I saw this here in some of our draft, but I think that the point to stress is there's always an urgency. So these bad agents, these bad actors want you to do something quickly, because if you don't think about it and you just react, well, they're going to get you. They're going to be easy. They're going to get you. So
their hook is trying to tap into your
fear and emotions.
Emotions. Yeah.
Your grandson has been arrested. Send us money. Kind of thing. So.
And a lot of times people are under the false impression that text messaging is more secure than email, and it's not. So many times it'll happen with a customer where we're working back and forth, and I need to get their password for a quick little thing, so verbally I can get it from them real quick. And they always, biggest thing is, do not send your password through email. And then a lot of times like, well, can I just text it to you? No, not at all.
No, that's even worse,
that's even
right?
worse. Yes, it's just as unsecure. So you want to make sure you don't put any passwords or prudent information in text messaging.
Okay. We actually covered this in detail on how to share passwords too. So check our YouTube channel for that too, because we did talk about ways to share passwords. So make sure you check that out. Okay.
Little bullet point here that I'm going to bring up too, because we do, DS Tech offers this service to our phone clients. If you do have any questions, please utilize DS Tech as a resource. My answers are mostly free. But I will be glad to help you. DS Tech does offer voice services to many businesses throughout the UP and beyond. And we do use a call blocker app. So what this does is, what we can do is enable this on a telephone number, and this will parse any call that comes through against a database of known bad numbers. And if it's one of those known bad numbers, it automatically blocks it.
That's cool.
So technology does advance. However, we're always reactive. We don't know it's a bad number until it's been reported as a bad number. So these defenses are only as good as our systems in place to keep them updated.
So on my Google phone does block certain.
It's not in your contacts yet or something.
Yeah, because I'll see a missed call that says blocked spam or something like that. Interesting. So they get smarter. The other people, the good people, get smarter too. But it's a constant.
Kind of like what Aaron has said. A lot of those things are reaction though to lots of scams that have already happened.
Yeah.
So now they're putting them into the place to protect them. The key is to constantly be aware of the latest
and try to be ahead of it.
Try to stay ahead.
Sure. The more we said it in the last episode, the more you know, the more you don't know.
Knowing is half the battle.
Right. Okay, so in general, don't tap on the links. Don't open the links.
Yeah.
Right? Don't respond.
Never.
Right?
I would never reply back if I get like it's a campaign message or an Amazon tracking message or anything like that. Again, like if I'm really curious about my tracking, I'll go right to the source, log into Amazon, check my packages that way. If it's a political thing, I'll go right to wherever I'm donating directly. I'm not going to do any communication through texting. Just like for email, you're not going to just randomly email information to some random email you just got you've never seen before.
Okay. Don't call them back.
No.
Okay. And don't allow the emotions to control what you're doing. And
Reaction.
yeah.
Yep.
If something seems urgent, it's usually can just take a deep breath and take it slower, and you work through it better that way.
And don't share any personal information ever, right?
Mhm.
And then
Yep.
we talked about this briefly, but legitimate contacts will not ask for
No.
information via
Right.
text. No.
No. Or if you do receive texts from, say, businesses that you work with, and I'll give you a great example is I love to buy clothes from a certain clothes seller. That's my brand. I like it. Now, I've opted in to receive text notification from them.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do have some of those. Yep.
I can opt out at any time too.
Yep.
So, if I get a text from somebody else that I didn't opt into, well, I don't necessarily know if it's legal, but, well, just be careful and be mindful. Mm-hmm.
And one thing to keep in mind if you really want to secure your stuff is a lot of the times we have the two-factor authentication now where you log into, say, Facebook or anything else, and you have your email and your password you put in, but now what happens is they send you a text message code in your phone that you have to also put in, and the idea of that is you're having a second key where if someone were to steal your email and password, they can't just log in, they'd have to physically have your phone in their hand too. Problem with that now in that they have these text message forwards in place, that's now not 100% secure. So my advice is if you really want something that's secure and it has two-factor available, try to get an actual application. They make Authenticator Apps, which is a series of numbers that rotates every 30 seconds to a minute that you can then put in. And again, the same thing, a hacker would have to have your phone in their hand, and they can't spoof those two-factor applications like they can the text messaging. So
interesting.
You kind of see the numbers rotating here. Oh.
So anytime you log in, yeah, it's a little bit more inconvenient, but with security and convenience, they're always at opposite ends of the spectrum. So that's just the way it works. But the two-factor app is definitely the way to go if you have it. Not everything will allow you to do that. A lot of places just have the messages for now, but if they do have the ability, always get the app over the messages.
Yep.
Google has one. Microsoft has one. The other
Those are
ones,
just free to download and use. You don't have to pay for
Anvil,
them.
that's one that we've used.
There's some other that have new features that you pay for, like one push and stuff.
Yeah. There's a bunch of different ones. Okay, and lastly, if you do want to report any scammers, you just go to the FTC's website. So I think we covered it. Awesome. Thank you so much, guys.
You're welcome, Janine.
Stay safe out there. Make sure you sign up for our newsletter. And if you want our security assessment, go email security@dstech.net. And most likely it'll be Aaron that gets in touch with you. So make it a great day. And lastly, trust no one. All right.